The Results Operations Centre. We've managed to fix the gremlins and get some sound. Ace Magashule speaking at the Results Centre.
And then we'll come to the SABC, ENCA will come to you in that way. Come.
Two questions, Mr. Magashule. Clement from Eyewitness News. One, what issues facing the ANC do you think has somehow played a role in the electoral decline? Because you can't just blame it all on the weather and the insufficient ballot papers. The ANC has faced some serious issues over the last couple of years. What do you think has contributed?
You want the ANC when generations, people are born, young people are born after freedom. They have not been there during these years when the ANC has been a brand, when the ANC was there. They are taught differently today. You still expect the ANC to have 100%. I mean, we are in a democratic South Africa. All over the world, things actually do change. The fact of the matter is that the majority of people in South Africa still have confidence in the African National Congress.
So it has nothing to do with the challenges you faced as the ANC?
Well, these are South African challenges. People have complained about, there are areas where there have been challenges of water. We have seen it ourselves during our door-to-doors when we go to different provinces. Inequalities, poverty, unemployment, whether you also say corruption. The fact of the matter is that all those issues are not basically, because if it was about the corrupt ANC and all that, there was no way we'll win all provinces in South Africa.
My second and last question. There are a lot of people that have now shown confidence in the ANC, and they're saying that's because of President Cyril Ramaphosa. They're saying he played a critical role in the renewal of the organization. Do you share that sentiment?
Well, there are provinces. Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa is not the candidate premier. It's not. It's about the ANC. It's not about any individual. Completely not. Imagine if you say, I, Ace Magashule, have campaigned and all that. There was no way my voice will be stronger than branches of the ANC on the ground, volunteers of the ANC, communities. The people who have actually made us win elections are volunteers, communities, are people who love the ANC, voters of South Africa. There's no way you can talk about any individual within the ANC, and the ANC has never operated that way.
Okay.
SG, we've seen about 35 smaller parties basically say this election was not free and fair, so it must either be rerun or there must be an independent audit of the results so that you can establish their credibility.
Okay, that's why you have election IEC as a structure. That's what we have respected throughout the years. That's why you have an electoral court. When things are not settled, they can be settled there. We are a democracy. Even the ANC will complain about this and that. I'm complaining about we're supposed to have extended time in parts of the country, but the IEC we respect it because IEC said never mind the weather, never mind the rain. There were 12 tents in Botshabelo which were actually flooded. Should you complain about it? We were actually trying to say to IEC, can you extend the time? And I'm saying even if they extended the time. So the IEC is the body running elections. It's not my wish. When you lose, obviously you'll complain. When you lose, you'll always complain. So smaller parties, what do they have? 1,000 vote, 2,000 vote. You still complain and think you'll get 9,000, 8,000 of the ANC? No. But there are processes, so let's respect the body which is running elections.
Yes, ENCA?
Thank you, Annika Larson from ENCA. With an overall majority nationally of possibly under 60%, does Cyril Ramaphosa still have your full support, and have you spoken to him at all, and are you happy to serve with him as your president?
Oh, well, Cyril Ramaphosa is the president of the ANC. There was President Mandela. Unfortunately, I served under President Mandela. There was President Mbeki. I served under Mbeki. There was President Zuma. I served under him. There is Cyril Ramaphosa. He's elected together with me. And the ANC is an organization of a collective. We respect elected leadership. So Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa has my support. And he's supposed to have support of every member of the ANC, unless if that member is is not okay and not well educated in terms of ANC politics, culture, traditions. We respect elected leaders. He's president, I'm Secretary-General. He's the head of the organization.
Do you like him though?
I like everybody, even yourself.
Even myself, I'm very likable.
I like you. You're a human being, so I must like you. But I love those who are ANC more than more than you, I get it? But I'm sure you are ANC also.
Wait, this says we've got Sfiso. Come in.
Okay, my name is Sifiso Masang from Independent Media. SG, Fikile Mbalula, the head of elections, seems to be disputing the narrative that the branches of the ANC decide. Yesterday, speaking to us, Mr. Mbalula said if Nazarek had elected another person, the ANC would have dropped to under 40%.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense. What? The people are electing the ANC. People are electing the ANC. It's not about any individual. How do you predict? And is Comrade Mbalula saying I was not going to be part of the campaign if the leader was somebody else?
Perhaps what he's suggesting is that if the leader of the ANC had been NDZ, the ANC would have fallen lower than that of the opposition leader.
The ANC will be where it is today. People have voted the ANC. People are not voting any person here.
Yes, let's try and stick to questions that are consolidating the mood of victory. Yes.
No, it was a relevant question.
Yes.
SG, can I just ask, one of the provinces was the Western Cape, and of course you were there during the campaign trail, and it has gone to the DA. Your reaction to that?
Watch and wait and watch. We're going to take that province.
Are you confident?
We are going to take that province.
When will that be, SG?
No, ENCA, please.
We are going to take that province. That province won't be under DA.
So your election campaigning was actually then you saying
there's a little bit of order. Take it like that.
Election campaign?
You're saying that you did enough for your election campaigning in the Western Cape to take the lead back in the Western Cape?
Yeah. We have worked hard. And people are still voting us. They voted us, and you'll see the results. Wait for the final results.
But what do you think of the EFF increasing votes and stuff in the Western Cape? Are those being taken away from you?
What have they taken away from us?
The votes that they've increased in their votership in the Western Cape, is that?
Well, that's the choice of voters. If they voted any party, it's wonderful. It's democracy.
Okay, open view.
SG, there are old ladies, mamas, young people, everyone who's come out and given their confidence to the ANC once again, despite constant betrayal. Say something to those that have voted to you today to ensure that there will not be any more betrayal going forward. A heartfelt message to your voters.
There's never been betrayal. You are expecting ANC to get 100%. Democracy is maturing. People have a right to choose. It depends on what we do as different political parties. And people at times don't vote manifestos, they don't vote, they vote slogans. And slantereg, you see, fight back. That's what Freedom Front was actually saying. And it was, Swargefar. And probably white South Africans were actually
they gave you the vote.
They gave us the vote. We are going to continue for the next 25 years with humility, because we are futuristic. We plan. We are optimists. We plan for the future. We will run this country for the next other 25 years. So those people, we are saying to them, we are not going to fail you. We are going to continue with where we ended. We have actually heard some of the issues, concerns we have raised. And therefore, even those who are protesting, who have not voted, we are going to serve everybody, because once we are elected, we are a responsible organization. We are not like any other party. We serve South Africans, even if they voted any other party. The fact of the matter is that we are the choice of the majority of South Africans, and therefore, we must still serve everybody. Serve those who are EFF, serve those who are DA, serve those who are any other party in South Africa once we are actually put into power.
Can we take Bloomberg and Reuters? Bloomberg?
SG?
Yes.
Albert Piotr from Bloomberg. Has the top six discussed the cabinet with Cyril Ramaphosa, and especially have you approved a reduction in size of cabinet to below 30 members?
No, you can't discuss all these issues until you are over with elections. President has time, we have time, and we must get the outcome, we must evaluate, we must assess ourselves, and we must read the mood of South Africans, and after that we'll be able to plan better.
Okay, Reuters.
Sorry, actually, a question from Reuters. The turnout this time was significantly lower, and many people are saying that is because many voters in South Africa are disillusioned. What's your message to disillusioned voters, people who are disappointed in the ANC, some of whom stopped voting for the ANC this time around?
Are we not better than many other countries in the world? You are a journalist. You are supposed to be analyzing the world. The trends in the world, political and social issues, conditions. You are going to say weather did not play any role. I'm saying weather also played a role in many instances.
But surely you don't think weather's the only factor? You know, some people are disappointed in the ANC. No. I'm not saying that everyone is, but some people are. What's your message to those people?
In white suburbs, you don't have tents. You go to a school, you vote. You get into a car, you go to a voting station. Our people have to travel.
But I'm
on
sure
the way as they travel, they are not as privileged as you are. And that's why we must continue with radical economic transformation as the ANC.
But also, I mean, it's not just in white suburbs, right? In some other parts, in some urban areas, some people will have naturally, in any election, they stopped voting for the ANC. Why is that? Why do you think that?
Why do you think they stopped voting for the ANC and not for other parties?
Well, no, they did that as well, but I'm asking you because you're the Secretary-General of the ANC.
I've said democracy is maturing. Today you might actually be ANC, tomorrow you may actually think otherwise, because you may be angry about a particular individual within the ANC and you decide, I'm not going to vote, or you may be so disillusioned. Okay. And that's why we are saying South Africans in general must never be disillusioned. We know some of and the president has emphasized it. Whatever mistakes we have committed, errors, we will correct as we move forward.
Okay, we're closing it here. Thank you very much. If there are any developments and the need to brief yourselves, we will do so. Yes.
Well, that was the Secretary-General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, there, basically addressing the media, saying he's very happy the kind of performance that the ANC has put up here. But indeed, stressing the fact that it's also pleasing that South Africans went out and cast their ballots. Yes, the ANC has seen some slight decline, and he is basically saying that is okay, because in a democracy, people are allowed to express their different views. But what was also interesting, again, was that yesterday, the head of the elections, Fikile Mbalula, basically said this kind of result that the ANC is receiving now was due to the election of President Ramaphosa as the ANC president in Nasrec. So when that question was put to the Secretary-General to say, wait not for Ramaphosa, the ANC would be somewhere around 40, he just dismissed that as nonsense, saying people are not necessarily voting for individuals, but they are voting for the ANC. He then mentioned the example of the premiers. The ANC did not nominate any candidate premiers, but people continue to vote. So as the matters stand currently, the ANC is leading in 8 provinces. We know that the Gauteng province is not finalized yet, so it was hovering at around 49, 50. So once the final results have been posted, so then we'll be in a clearer picture as to what happens.
Zwandile Mbeja, our very own, of course, right at the Results Operations Centre there in Tshwane as we get to speed with things. And of course, the Secretary-General of the African National Congress, Ace Magashule there, is of course sharing some sentiments. He is of course from the Free State, so we thought we'd just touch on exactly how things are faring in that province as well. 78.09% of the votes having been counted there, spoiled votes of 1.31%. That turnout only at around 62%. It has been the story of this election as well, hasn't it? Unfortunately, not the turnout that many would have hoped for with regards to the total numbers there. The ANC maintaining that lead at 61.69%, nearly two-thirds of a majority there. The DA coming in there at 17.47%, with the EFF very good there as well, coming in with 12%. And the Freedom Front Plus has continued to shine, I suppose, if you want to call it that, across these elections as well, mostly doubling, if not more so, on their national votes. And certainly in certain provinces like the Free State, doing very well there. They're fourth place here. And even ATM, that's the party, of course, of our very own Saudi, of course, putting out some votes on that front there, standing in at fifth with regards to that one. That is the situation out in the Free State as well, and we'll continue to check in as well on how things are faring. But very quickly, a little bit earlier on, we saw the African Union and SADC Observers Mission largely convinced as well that the 2019 election did go off perhaps a little bit better than some would have expected, and they are seeing that things are off without a hitch. The provincial and national elections were free, fair and credible, though they did note that a few concerns they'd like addressed, such as the participation